Hi, this is Alex from devstories.eu. GitLab CI/CD, episode 11 of 14. Handing your product manager a live, clickable URL for every single feature branch completely eliminates the argument that it works on your machine. This workflow relies entirely on dynamic environments and review apps. Standard environments like staging or production are static. You define them once and they persist. Dynamic environments are created on the fly. You spin them up to test a specific branch, use them, and then throw them away. When you use a dynamic environment specifically to preview code changes inside a merge request, GitLab calls this a review app. To create a dynamic environment, you cannot hard-code its name in your configuration file. Instead, you use pipeline variables. The most critical variable for this is the CI commit ref slug. This variable takes your branch name, converts it to lowercase, removes special characters, and shortens it. It guarantees you have a DNS-safe string to use for naming both your environment in GitLab and your actual infrastructure resources. By defining your environment name as the word review followed by a slash and this slug variable, GitLab automatically generates a separate tracked environment for every single branch you push. Here is the key insight. Creating the environment record in GitLab is only half the battle. You also need to route reviewers to the actual deployed code. Let us say you are spinning up a temporary AWS Lambda instance for your feature branch. When your deployment script runs, AWS generates a random URL for that new Lambda function. You do not know this URL beforehand. You need a way to pass that dynamically generated address back to the GitLab user interface so reviewers can click it. You solve this using a specific artifact type called a .env report. Inside your deployment job, after AWS provisions the Lambda function and returns the endpoint, your script writes that URL into a simple text file formatted as a key-value pair. You configure your job to output this file as a .env report artifact. GitLab reads this file at the end of the job and exposes the variable. You then configure the environment URL parameter in your pipeline definition to read that exact variable. Because of this connection, your merge request will now display a View App button that routes users directly to that specific AWS Lambda endpoint. Temporary infrastructure costs money. Leaving hundreds of stale Lambda functions running will drain your budget quickly. You need an automated way to clean up. You handle this using the onStop keyword. In your deployment job, you add the onStop property and give it the exact name of a different job in your pipeline. This second job contains your infrastructure teardown script. By linking them this way, GitLab takes over the lifecycle management. When a developer merges the feature branch or deletes the branch, GitLab automatically executes that teardown job. The infrastructure is destroyed immediately. The true value of review apps is not just previewing code, but automating the entire infrastructure lifecycle. You dynamically provision, seamlessly link, and reliably destroy temporary environments without a single developer ever touching a hosting console. That's all for this one. Thanks for listening, and keep building.